Here we go. You can snap along if you want. Just don't bang the table is all I ask. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. The final day of March. I cannot believe we have gotten to this point. The weather's not too bad out, a little overcast, but as usual, we're heating things up in here with an awesome guest tonight. Before we get to her, I've got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we got Auto Country, king of the used car in Abington, #1 in the dealer ratings for 2021 out of 4,500. That was Abington, yes. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton, one number for towing, one number for projects. We got Countertops Express in North Attleboro. We got A1's Tire Auto, and we got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. We're always looking in search of new talent for service writers and service techs. We got Sudden Impact Customs in Whitman. They're a new one. We got Champ's Hair Salon and Sneaker Store and Mere Boutique in Brockton. They're a new one. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming Salon in Attleboro. We got Sure Shine Professional Detailing and Handwash in Abington, always looking for new talent. We got Auto Town Auto Glass installed in Abington. We got Empower Nutrition in Brockton, they're a new one. We got Easton Fitness right in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats in Brockton, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell. We got the Gunrunner LLC in Middleboro, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights, where customers are friends. And we got Joe's Diner in Taunton. I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, I'll now introduce this lovely lady here. This is Autumn Ross. She's a model, she's a photographer, she's a jewelry maker. We're going to cover all that. We got some pictures of her to look at. We're going to look at her work as well. So thank you, Autumn, for coming in and doing my show tonight. We've been trying to get you on for a while.
Of course, yes. It's been
at least a couple of years. And
yeah.
It's definitely worth the wait. So, all right. Well, Autumn, you know what I do with every guest. I think you've seen my show before. Is I just try to find out what they were like as kids. You don't look too old, obviously. You look like you're in your 20-something at the very, 30, very early 30s, if possible, but I doubt that. So let's talk about what you were like as a kid. Where did you grow up? What were your aspirations? And we'll carry it further. We'll talk about what you're doing now, obviously, and then look toward the future. So start with that. Tell me about your childhood.
Oh, well, my childhood, we moved around a lot, so we weren't really stationary.
Okay, you were nomadic, I guess.
But it wasn't bad. I always made new friends, so that was great. But
okay.
My biggest thing was doing art.
Okay.
I love to draw. Even when I was a little kid, I did these pictures, and I tried to sell them to families and friends.
Draw pictures as a kid and sell them?
Yeah.
And how old were you?
Oh, I was like 6 or 7, I think.
So you already had an enterprising mind too at the time, for business.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. And how did you do it? Did you sell any?
I sold a couple. It was just to my older sister's friends.
That's
thought
great.
It was cute.
No, hey, listen, you had a spark and you lit it. That's great. Okay. And now, what kind of pictures did you like to draw? Think of the world around you, or abstract, or both?
It was a bit of both, actually.
Okay.
I would do these like different shapes and kind of color them in, or do these like squiggle lines type of thing, and then I would do the classic like kids sun in the corner and the rainbow and stuff like that.
All right, so there's a large plethora of stuff. That's great. Okay, and did anyone tell you that you were talented enough to keep it going? I assume you've probably felt confident enough to keep it going because you're still doing it today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my mother was always very
supportive.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So did you ever a lot of kids that age will set up a lemonade stand outside their house to sell lemonade. Did you set up an art stand to sell your art?
I set up a flower stand actually with my sister. We would make bouquets.
Okay.
Just another form of art that I would do. We would go into the garden and pick different bouquets, make them up, and sell them to the couples that were going into the restaurant that was right next door to us.
What restaurant was that? Was it in the area around here?
No, it wasn't in the area. It was back in Western Mass.
Oh, okay. So you moved. So you kind of migrated east because you're not in Western Mass anymore.
I did, yes.
Yeah, right. You're much closer to here than you were then. Okay. All right, was it like, okay, well, that must have been nice. You didn't need a license at that age, I guess. They didn't this, I'm sure the people running the restaurant were perfectly happy having you do that.
Yeah, they were fine. They thought it was cute.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Okay. Now, no, these weren't artificial flowers. These were flowers you picked from your garden, right?
Yep, they were from our own garden.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you obviously, do you have like a green thumb? Do you do planting now even still?
I haven't done any planting now. I do want to get back into it though and make a little garden.
That's awesome. All right. All right. Well, now you make jewelry, and I've seen, and I'm looking at some of it now, and it looks delightful. And you've created all these, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When did you start creating jewelry? How old were you then? And what made you think to do that?
I was in college, and
Where'd you go to college?
UMass Dartmouth.
Oh, sure. My brother went there for law school.
Oh, nice.
Small world. I know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I met a friend who was also very artistic, and she was doing wire wrapping one day when we were together, and
okay.
I was very fascinated with it.
Don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, all right. So you were fascinated with that, and what did you major in at UMass Dartmouth?
I majored in English, writing and communications.
Okay. Well, now you model too.
I do.
Okay, we're going to talk about that too. But when you were, did you do any artwork at school when you were at Dartmouth as well? UMass Dartmouth?
Yes, I took a couple art classes. They were more kind of like a shop class because we worked with wood and then we worked with metals.
That sounds more like
soldering.
a guy class, but obviously, were you the only girl in the class?
No, I wasn't. There was a couple of girls in the class.
That's good. Okay. So you wanted to work, but you wanted to get your fingernails dirty too, as they say.
Yes.
You know, you didn't just want to create. You wanted to do it. You wanted to do it with gusto.
Yes,
okay.
I love doing hands-on, working with my hands.
Exactly. All right. Did you create anything pretty wild in that class that you never thought possible, that people thought was incredible?
I made a giant dog statue. My mom has it now in her garden. It's like a skeleton-wise.
Okay. Made out of wood?
Made out of metal.
Oh, okay.
I soldered it together.
You soldered it. Wow, that's incredible. So your art talent obviously encompasses a lot of stuff. It isn't just drawing. Now you realize that you could solder, you could bend, you could sculpt. That's incredible. Have you ever done music at all? Sing, dance? I'm sorry about that, but just singing.
Singing, yes, I do singing.
Okay, all right. Tell me about that. When have you? I'll be honest with you. You seem to have a very nice voice. If you wanted to sing on the show a cappella, you certainly could.
Oh, thank you.
It's up to you.
Little nervous to do that one.
It's up to you. You don't have to. But I had a girl on a couple of weeks ago that did sing. And what about acting? You ever done acting?
I did some when I was like a kid. I acted in a couple plays.
You did?
Yeah,
oh,
I did one. It was Grease, actually, and I played Sandy.
It was what?
Grease.
Oh, you did Grease? You were Sandy?
Yeah.
Oh, you would be a perfect Sandy. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Olivia Newton-John, man, she'd be giving you the thumbs up if she knew. That is so cool. Okay. Was that in high school?
No, that was when I was still in middle school. I was about to go to high school.
You were about to go into high school. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. All right. So you got that. Have you ever done any writing at all?
Yes.
All right, tell me about what you write.
I write short stories.
Same here. I wrote a book of them in the 90s, and it came out great.
Nice.
Took me 10 years to do it. Okay. Now, what kind of stories do you write? Are they kind of like off the cuff? Are they
They're
dark
like
humor?
They're dark. There's more like supernatural happenings.
Okay. All right. So you have a mind. You have a good imagination too. Okay. Well, when did you make those creations right there? Tell me about them. Let's talk about them. Hold them up and let's see if we can. There you go.
Got this one here. This one. I think I made this a year ago.
Okay.
This is one of my most recent pieces here.
Okay. Wow. It's beautiful. Now that's a brooch. For a necklace, like you have one.
Yep.
Did you make that for your necklace too?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I made the necklace and the chain as well.
Wow. Okay.
And I have this guy here. There's another one that I made the chain for.
Okay.
This one is an eyeball.
Okay. Sweet. Oh, an eyeball. That's cool. That's kind of supernatural as well. I assume it was intended to.
Yes. I made that one around Halloween.
Okay. Cool. Last year?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep. And this is one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's very simple wrap, but
Okay, that's cute. That looks like sort of like a tiny slinky. You know what a slinky is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Well, those are nice. Those are beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got there? Did you make that too on the rack?
Yes,
I know did you make the rack as well?
No, I didn't make the rack.
Okay.
I bought the rack.
Oh, cool. Wow. Okay. How much time a week do you spend doing jewelry
Ooh,
on average? I mean, I assume it varies, right?
yeah, it varies on the project that I'm doing.
Okay.
Like this one took me about 5 hours.
Okay, that's not bad
To
for
do?
one day's work. Yeah. Cool. Wow.
So,
Those are nice. Okay. What do you use? Like you take what do they call the metal? You take metal. Do you solder those too? You don't do that for the jewelry.
no, not for this jewelry. I could for certain
bigger
for
stuff.
links and things like that,
Yeah.
but I don't do any soldering for my jewelry.
Okay. Well, you know it works. Whatever it is, I don't need to know your secrets, but they look great. Now you also you do photography as well, right? And you model.
Or model, yep.
Okay. And Renee's here with you. You work with her?
Yes,
You
I
work
do.
Okay, the hippie photographer, Renee, who was also a great guest on my show at Area 58, and a great friend to all you folks. That's awesome. So tell me about how you work with her. What do you do with Renee for work, for the hippie photographer?
Well, either she comes up with a concept or
Yep.
we kind of talk together and figure out something,
Okay.
and we kind of go from there, work together, make the magic happen.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so you guys you two are partners in the business.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm her partner, but I do help her a lot.
You're an assistant.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, she has a few. You're not the only one.
No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's true. I know. I've seen her work on Facebook, and you look great in it. And I've seen your work
Thank
too. So as far as your modeling, where have you? Now we're going to look at some of your pictures. We have them. You're going to email them to Joe, and we're going to look at them. Where do you submit them? I'm just curious. Can you tell me where? Like, are they in magazines anywhere? Are they on billboards or anything like that? I know they look great in Facebook, but tell me where you submit them.
There's quite a few in magazines. I don't personally submit any of them. That's actually all
Oh, she does.
Renee.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so all the work, all the modeling you've done has been with her, right? With Renee.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And she does a wonderful job with that. Now, I'm just trying to think. Do you have you been doing? You don't really actually have an agent then?
No.
Okay, because a lot of the models I interview do have an agent. You don't really need one. You got her. It's even better. You cut out the middle person. Exactly. Okay. So where have your pictures? You said they've shown up in magazines. Mm-hmm. All right. Can you tell me which ones?
Untold magazine is one of them.
Okay.
I think that's been one of them. That's been quite a few.
Okay.
TSYM.
Really? YM? That's the one that you like the magazine, the same one that you see on the supermarket newsstand?
No, TSYM.
TSYM. All right. What is that? Do you know what that stands for? If not, that's fine. I'm thinking of
not
YM
sure.
because when you walk into a drugstore or into a supermarket, you usually see a rack of magazines, and I'm pretty sure YM is one of them. I'm pretty sure I've seen YM magazine in stores, but TSYM, I don't even know what YM stood for, and I don't even know. Obviously, I don't know what TSYM, but that's still awesome that you're in those.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you doing any acting now currently?
Not currently.
Okay. All right. But how about writing? You still writing those short stories?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you have any? Are you working on any particular one you can talk about right now?
Well, currently I'm actually working on a longer story, more of a novel.
Okay, first time ever for a novel?
Yes.
All right. And that, believe me, I've tried doing that myself. I couldn't succeed at writing a novel, but I did make a long book of short stories, which was the same length as a novel because it was like 50,000 words. Okay, you want to talk a little about what the novel is going to be? Without giving up too much away?
It's another supernatural
Okay.
story, and it's about a young woman that has she's gone through the foster care system.
Okay.
And she's just coming out of it and out on her own in the world, and she has to figure out how to function and
Okay.
how to be an adult. while these dark forces are chasing after her.
Okay. Cool. That's very clever. I already like the synopsis, even so far. So how far along with it are you? How do you do this? Do you like outline it first and then work page? Do you work on the story a little every day? The book, I mean.
Yeah, when it comes to me more.
Okay. So you're not pushing yourself to do it. You just let the ideas flow, and when you feel like it, you do it. Okay. So that's basically how you occupy your time when in terms of writing, it's when you feel the urge to do it is when you do it, but not unless.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And eventually you will, so you're not even worried about it. And there's really no hurry to finish either.
Mm-hmm.
At some point you will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Have you ever submitted any of your short stories to a magazine or created a book out of them?
In college, a group of me and my friends, we actually together made a short story book with all of our short stories.
Okay.
We combined them together.
Wow.
To make one book.
Oh, that's awesome. How many people in the group that contributed to this?
There was 9 of us total.
Wow. That's incredible. I wouldn't mind having I mean, I love having authors on the show. Obviously, you're very multifaceted. You've done a lot of different things, which is amazing. That's incredible. Did you sell the book in like the school bookstore?
We didn't sell it in the school bookstore. We did give it to the writing professor that we dedicated it to, though.
Okay.
Because he's the one that brought us all together in the classroom.
Isn't it fun to be creative when you're writing stuff? I would tell anybody to take a creative writing course in some time in your life.
Oh yes, it's very.
Because you'd be right. It's fun to throw ideas. Hear somebody writes a really cool story and you get into it. I know how that is. And then if you write something good and the other people like it, that's even better. Because I know I've taken some short story writing classes. It just so happens that my book was published at Bridgewater State because the guy that published it himself is a short story writer. He had his own printing press. And until he did my book, I actually took his short story writing course in the spring of 1989. And 10 years later, in 1999, he published it after it took me 10 years to really put the book together. Mm-hmm. So when he did my book, he actually decided, hey, I can do it for other people too. And he put a memo on his bulletin board saying, anybody that wants a book, come see Mike Hurley in Tillinghast 331, which was his office. So tell me tell me about your professor that you felt that it was so cool that you figured you'd dedicate the book to. Is it a woman or a guy?
It was a male.
Okay, tell me about him.
He was just very laid back.
Okay.
He.
Sounds like Mike Hurley too.
Yeah.
Okay, he's laid back.
He was open to any of the topics that we may wanted to bring up or write about.
And he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
Probably, I'm guessing he was probably like, middle-aged to an older guy. Or was he a younger?
I think he was in his 30s.
Really? He was a younger guy?
Yeah.
Okay, he related. Do you still keep in touch with him, you and your friends from school today?
I think my friends keep in touch with him more than I do.
Yeah, you haven't talked to him.
Yeah, I see things on Facebook. We're Facebook friends, and I'll like the pictures and stuff like that. But we don't really talk or anything.
That's cool. But I guess you found him inspirational enough to dedicate the book to him. That's great.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you spend your days currently with work? You work with Renee here doing the hippie photographer. What is your most prominent thing that you're doing right now currently?
Currently, it's working on my jewelry.
Okay. You pretty much do that like every day, and you're close to it.
Yep.
Okay. Now, do you have a little what do you call it? A little workshop in your house, or do you have an office where you do it, or work?
I have a little workspace in the house that
house?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Now, as far as selling them, do you sell them to stores? Do you sell them online, or do you just not sell them?
I usually go to craft fairs for selling them. Is my main way of selling them. I don't really sell them online. I'm looking into doing that though.
Okay. Well, what craft fair? What about flea markets? You ever done? That's sort of like a craft fair, but similar.
I've done flea markets as well.
Okay. Where do you usually go to where are the craft fairs usually held?
Oh, one was held in Connecticut, I believe.
Okay.
We went to one that was, I believe, the Raynham flea market as well.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one because that's a big one. Every Sunday usually it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to get back into going to
Okay, you're going to take it where?
I was going to go back to them or try to...
Oh, in Raynham.
Yeah, just try to see if I can set up a booth or something there soon.
Yeah, this is certainly a good time to do that. The weather's warmer now. All these flea markets are outside. There's one in, I think, in Plymouth at Cottage Park. You ever try that one? You ever tried? It might maybe. I know a lot of people go there to set their stuff up. I actually worked for a woman years ago who her and her daughters would set their flea market, their booths up there regularly, and they did pretty well. But that's pretty cool. So you pretty much have the one in Connecticut, the one in Rainham. Ever sell it to any stores?
No, not to any stores. I haven't actually approached any stores yet.
Were you thinking of it? It might be a good idea.
There's one that I was thinking of approaching to see if they would be interested.
That's a great, yeah. Can you name the store? Maybe I've heard of it.
Castastone.
Where is it? I don't know, what's the name of it?
Castastone.
Oh, is that Whitman and Abington area?
Abington.
Is it? Okay, yeah, I've been by there. Yeah, cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I was thinking of going there and talking to them and see if they would be interested.
Oh, I would definitely do that. That's great. Okay, and you pretty much do your own PR stuff. That's incredible. Now, but as far as now, you take photography too, right?
I don't take photography.
Oh, you don't do photography?
No.
Okay, all right.
I dabbled in it here and there, but I just have it on my phone.
Right, right. I understand. You didn't really think it was. You felt that your stuff wasn't. You didn't enjoy it, so you didn't do it. You definitely, and looking like you do, I can understand. You prefer being in front of the camera than behind it. That makes sense. Okay. So how much time a week do you dedicate to doing the modeling?
It depends on when we come up with a
project.
Concept, really. Yeah, because we don't get together every week or anything like that to do it.
Well, I saw that Renee just did something pretty wild for her business. And I don't know what it was, but it looked. I think I must have commented on it. It looked. You turned yourself into like Spider Woman or something. You did something really abstract with your project recently.
Oh, my profile picture.
Yeah.
Cards.
It was really wild. I mean, it was green. I remember seeing green. I'm thinking maybe he was celebrating St. Patrick's Day or something.
Oh, the leprechaun.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Were you part of that?
No, I was not part of that one.
Okay. All right. Well, now when it comes to her work, you guys, like you said, you bounce ideas off each other, and you try to make it as creative as possible. You don't want to just keep doing the same old every time. You're always striving to get new original stuff out, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that sounds like that keeps you pretty busy. Let's see. So do you have anything I know you don't have anything on YouTube for the show, but have you ever done anything on YouTube, musically or in any other way, in any capacity in acting at all?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? All right. Okay. Now, what about the possibility of taking some of your short stories, though, and maybe turning them into into films? Have you guys ever thought of doing that, or even the book you're writing?
I've never thought of that actually, but
it might be a good idea. It seems like you seem to know a lot of people that could probably help you with that. People that might act in them. I'm guessing you know a lot of people that might fit the mold of every character that you write about. And I mean, that would be kind of cool, setting up auditions for a film. That would be really nice.
That would be very cool.
You must know people that know how to edit video, right, or not? Or do you know how to do that?
I don't know how to do that. I do know of one person that
that's
does
it.
video.
You guys might want to just collaborate on it. That might be a wicked cool thing to do, and maybe do like even a reality series about people too. You guys work. You guys are so closely knit, and so bohemian in your life choices. That might be really cool to do. I mean, do a video of work at the hippie photographer. That would be nice, and post that on Facebook. Maybe get it on YouTube as well. I bet we get a ton of views for it. Yeah. Okay. Now, have you ever worked with anybody that's either friends or family and in other projects too, aside from modeling, aside from acting, anything that's artistic? Have you ever painted a picture with someone pose for you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. What about like doing caricature sketching? Have you ever done that?
No, I'm not that type of artist. I'm more.
Oh, you wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more. I do more like abstracts and.
Like Picassoette.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm thinking, it might be kind of cool to try something animated now. Maybe just create your own animated comic strip. Just an idea. I always try to give ideas to my guests that might help them out, so that they can come away from Topic Time a little richer than they found it. I mean, now you know how, like, if you open up Facebook, though, they have they have these apps where you can have like pictures, like animated pictures of yourself appear. I think we've all seen them. So, and maybe on TikTok as well. I don't know how astute you are with those apps, okay, but you might want to look into doing that with people that you know. I bet it would be cool.
Yeah.
Just an idea. Well, guess what, Autumn, we're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. We made it go by.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I hope you had fun.
I did.
tried to cover as much as I could. So what I want you to do, like I said at the beginning, is look. Well, you can look at Renee. She's right here. Say, give her a shout out, and then look at the camera and give shouts out to family and friends and family members, and then we'll wrap the show up the way we began with my music.
Alrighty. Well, shout out to my best friend here who brought me along.
Renee, you're the baby.
To my lovely fiance, Bill, and all my family and friends that are watching this. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, I agree. I second that. Thank you so much for watching. Well, if you had fun with me, what I'd like you to do is tell people that haven't done the show about it, and maybe we can get them in as guests. You have my number now. You can always have them text me, call me or whatever, and we'll set it up. I've been getting so many guests from word of mouth lately that it's really going well. Now, just before we wrap the show up, though, is there anything that you have going on the horizon that you might have overlooked that you want to mention coming up in the next few weeks or months?
We just keep an eye out because Renee and I have some stuff planned that we're going to be doing soon.
That's great.
So.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out. Well, Autumn, you did a wonderful job, and Renee, thank you for being as supportive as you are, and I hope you enjoyed watching the show for the second time in person.
Always.
And
Always a pleasure.
what's that?
Always a
Oh, it is, absolutely. And on that note, we're going to just wrap the show up the way we began it. So, Autumn, you ready to?
I am.
All right, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. See you in April. That's right.